Well, I guess some of it worked. Look at that. Good evening and welcome, everybody. We had a little breakdown there with the standby. All of the little extras, the countdown, they just, I don't know, they're on retirement, maybe vacation. I have no idea where they went, but they're gone. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But it's PubChat with the Shills. And, pre-show, there's only a couple of us here right now. We'll see how, things pan out. We got some invites out and whatnot. But pre-show, we were talking, and we already got a few things we want to bring up. So, Mike, I know you got a couple things, but quick intros here. Mike Bertelson, how's it going?
It's going good. Although I have spent the last 8 days arguing with Right the Hand on Facebook, so my brain's a little wishy-washy right now. Other than that, things are good.
Cool. I want to hear about that coming up. Awesome.
Yeah.
And we got Kevin here. Kevin, how's it going?
Hello, Space Cowboys. Hope everyone's keeping well. I'm doing excellent. It's a wonderful day. We had both a hot fire test of the Space Launch System core stage by NASA, and at the same time, there is a Starship being assembled with the Super Heavy booster. So it's an exciting time for space travel. And I also put out a poll on my community tab asking if I should do a video about Joe Biden allegedly being green screened. And currently, 50% of the votes go to the third option of I got hairy legs, which is excellent.
That's funny.
Geez.
Holy. Well,
There's
people have seen the whole. Well, people have seen the whole, head without a body with and without the jar, right? So they know the legs is a gag answer, right? I mean, they get that, don't they?
Yeah, there's a whole lot behind that whole thing too, because everyone's all the right wing nut jobs are claiming that they're just waiting for their chance to evoke the 25th Amendment and so that Kamala Harris can become president, and then there's the whole Trump's really in charge and Biden is in Gitmo. Then there's the old Biden is in charge and Trump was really a what do they call it? Opposition.
Controlled opposition.
Controlled opposition. Well, I don't even know why the hell I couldn't get that out. Yeah, it's there's a whole lot of stupid stories behind Biden right now that wing nuts are wheeling around.
Oh, yeah. Well, the most recent ones are funny because the ones I'm going to do is where they're claiming that he's been chroma keyed into a scene. And it's stuff like you got a 240p video where white-haired Joe Biden walks in front of a white wall and his hair disappears. And it's like, of course it does.
Yeah.
That's how crappy video works.
Yeah, and it's some scaled down video, because they didn't download it in that resolution either. So it's just like Flurf's intellectually dishonest bullshit.
I've been seeing that a lot lately. I saw someone recently call a text conversation a fake because they took the screenshot off of Twitter, saved it, and opened it up in a photo editing program and found artifacts. And everyone was like, well, yeah, because that's not the original version. Whatever you get off of Twitter has been compressed and diluted by Twitter in order for it to be posted there, because they intentionally post videos and images in a lower quality for the sake of people who are on mobile and using their data.
Yeah,
and bandwidth is money.
Space. Yeah,
and bandwidth,
server space and bandwidth is money. Both are.
Yep.
So,
MKBHD, tech YouTuber, big. I'm sure most people know the name. He did an amazing video where he started with 8K footage, uploaded it to YouTube, downloaded it, re-uploaded it, downloaded it, re-uploaded it, and within like 24 generations, it was a blocky mess that it looked like Picasso at the age of 3 learning what to do. It was just horrible.
Wow.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
It's just a copy of a copy of a copy, a Xerox of a Xerox.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, the one MKBHD did, the last version looked like it was made up of about 12 pixels. It was just,
It's a Minecraft.
Yeah, it's no longer art, or it's no longer a video. Now it's just abstract art. You know, it's the kind of thing you would see on your television in the 70s listening to a Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah. Wow. Everybody's heisting, I see.
Oh, yeah. So Mike, tell us about the 8-day rabbit hole then, because that sounds like, you know, you really had one hell of a go with him.
Yeah, it started out on MC Toon, had posted something from his mctoon.net website about gravity. Mm-hmm. And so he had some choice words to say about that. And then magnetism came up, which he likes to, you know, I don't know why, argue about that. AB Science handed him his ass last year, the year before on it. But of course, he said the experimental physicist whose job literally is researching magnetism doesn't know anything about magnets. But, you know, that's beside the point. And so he kept on going on about, I think I dropped a little thing in the green room. Basically, he said that magnetism is actually a physical thing because you have to have something physical in order to move something. It has to be a physical object to object contact. That's the only way something can move. That's one of his things about gravity. You can't have gravity as a force to make things fall because you need something. Because he has also got his own laws of motion now because, you know, obviously Newton didn't know what he was talking about. So, and so I was like, excuse me, but if a magnet has to have physical contact with something, what happens if I put like a piece of wood or a sheet of copper between the magnet and some iron? How does it touch it? And he made up some crap. You can see it on the screen here that it's with the connection with the magnet because metal is tighter. And I was like, are you trying to say it's because it's more dense than wood? Because he was talking about wood at the time. And so he's like, did I mention the word density? So what the fuck do you mean by tighter? Come on. So I was like, what happens if I put a sheet of copper? Because copper's got a higher density than iron between the iron and the magnet. And he was like, and then he started to go off. Well, how does magnetism work then? I don't know. It's your claim. So why don't you go ahead and tell us how it works? So he was like, science doesn't know how it works. I said, I'm pretty sure science does. And we went round and round on that for days. And then he goes, my claim is that you don't know how magnetism works, so you have to prove me wrong. It's like, no. I don't have to prove shit wrong.
Wow. Could you shift that burden just a little bit harder, buddy? Holy
it's like saying, okay, I say you had plastic surgery. Prove me wrong. It's like, it's just like fucking stupid. What the hell are you talking about? So I posted some Feynman lectures. And so what he did was he went out and he found this one quote in an old New York Times article where Feynman says that it's his opinion that nobody really understands quantum mechanics. So he says, even he says nobody understands quantum mechanics. I said, well, that's not really what he's talking about because, well, that was his area of research. I mean, the damn guy pioneered the study of quantum electrodynamics. He knows more about magnetism than just about anybody, you know, at least up until, I don't know, he died in the mid-'80s sometime. So it's like, no. So I found the real quote, which is at the beginning of his section on magnetism and quantum dynamics. And basically what it is just, he says that it's really a psychological thing because, you know, you see how it works. You do the math to figure out how it works, and none of it really makes any sense. And you're saying to yourself, how can it really be this way? And he says a lot of people stumble. There's very few people, if you can't get past that part in studying quantum quantum mechanics, then you're not really gonna get it. And that's really what his point was. But that's not that they didn't have any of that in the article. It's like, and then he posted another article, a screenshot. Of course, they're just screenshots, so you really can't tell unless you like zoom in to see where they come from. The other one was from,
for sure.
said it, about a magnetic field, and he says, "See, there's nothing of value there. It doesn't tell you how it works. Nobody knows." I was like, so let me get this, because I zoomed in on it. So let me get this straight. You're posting an authoritative article that doesn't tell you how magnetism works from the National Geographic magazine. So that was his source. So far, articles from National Geographic and the New York Times are authoritative sources. I kept telling him, because he was like, "Tell me how it works." He said, "Well, because we're really talking about quantum mechanics here." And I was a physics major at one point in time before I switched to engineering, and still quantum mechanics is that's a deep subject. And he wants to. I think the quantum electrodynamics, I mean, the online lectures from Feynman, there's 21 of them in that module alone. And he wants me to put that in a Facebook post. And it's like stupid, because he's not going to accept it. He's got to just hand wave it all away and dismiss it and not even have a reason. It'll all be reasons, and in the end, when you press him enough, he usually winds up going to personal incredulity. Well, I don't believe it. Well, there you go. That's what it is. And we basically spent days, because he tries so hard to get you to say a certain something, a certain word. Or because he for the gravity thing, for like 2 days, he tried to get me to say the word force, and I knew that's where he was going with it. So I purposely for 2 days didn't say the word force, and finally, when I did, knowing what was coming next, that's when he went on the physical contact thing, and to try to explain away gravity. It's like, because so and then he goes, he always finishes up with, so you need to have physical contact to move something. Do we agree? No, we don't agree. Bite me.
Wow.
Do we agree? That's his thing too. That's always part of his script. Do you agree? You agree with me, right? So we're agreed? No, we're not agreed. You're a moron. That's the only thing I agree with.
We need contact to move something. Wow, that's incredible.
Contact, yeah. So apparently, magnetism is an actual physical object with matter. So says Chris Lewinsky.
So say we all.
That's right. I'm looking at a spongy wood nano generator that Jinju posted in the chat. It's kind of interesting.
So I'm guessing that I'm going to guess that he would not invest in Pratt and Whitney because jet engines are fake. Then,
yeah. Well, he probably wouldn't invest in any company that's got because he claims that there's no such thing as nuclear power. So.
Interesting.
So yeah, well, because he latched onto that because he found out that's what I do for a living. I work for a company. We design, nuclear powered submarines for a living, and in my area is reactor plant systems. So he was, so he's like telling me, and it's like, well, I've actually seen the reactor go together on a submarine and seen him put the core in, and goes, no, you didn't. That's just a box. You don't know what's in there. So I spent 4.5 years at sea on one of those nuclear powered submarines. So there's no fuel on board. By that I mean there is diesel fuel. Yeah, there is for the emergency diesel engine, but that's it.
Yeah.
So there's no boilers, there's no nothing. So I'm like, how is it that we can stay out to sea for 60 or 90 days at a time, submerged most of that time, and not have something to? He's like, well, once you start making steam, there's your turbine generators generate enough power to power the ship and to make steam. so that the generators can run to power the ship and also heat up the water to make steam. So a perpetual energy machine. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. What? So he designed Snowpiercer? Is that like, you know?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's funny as shit. It's hilarious because
wow,
that's
so once you get the thing spinning, now it can spin forever on its own and influence other things, and like wow. Are we agreed?
Exactly. That's right. That's where he goes with it. And he's so transparent. His scripted narrative is it doesn't vary now because he's gotten screwed so many times by saying stuff and making claims. Like he once claimed that space wasn't real and I can prove it. And I was like, okay, so there it is. That's a direct claim. So we went round and round a lot, and he just, you know, he wound up disappearing for a couple of days because he realized he had backed himself into a corner. And so yeah, probably. So he tries not to do that anymore. He tries not to make any claims, although he did with this whole magnetism thing. And he was just going. So he just tries to turn it around on you. Well, you have to. There is no science doesn't know anything about magnetism. They don't know how it works. So, as far as I was concerned, that was a claim. So I was like, citation, please. He was just going round and round. He was all pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Oh. There's a ding dong at the door. I only just noticed.
Oh, who's coming?
The plot hole is here. Oh, here, hold on. Let me get to the camera set. Here we go.
Cool.
Ta-da! What up,
Johnny? Oh, how's it going?
What's going on? Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm gonna pin you
right now. Can you see all that shit?
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see all that, but I'm on top of a freaking mountain right now.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here, let me. Oh, wrong one.
Making fun of people.
Oh yeah, we were, just chilling. Mike has had like an 8-day fight with a complete moron, and we were just hearing the nuts and bolts of it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Did you win?
Yeah, it's right to hand. That's not hard. My cat could outmaneuver him.
Didn't Right the Hand say he could beat up a MMA fighter? And
yeah,
she whipped his ass.
Yes, she did. On YouTube,
that's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Well, you guys get back to it. I'm gonna continue my hikes. I just wanted to stop by and say hi.
Sure.
Cool,
man.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Have a good hike. Yep.
Take care, man.
Take care, Johnny. Oh, enjoy, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
Cool.
It's a nice place to be. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all really dark here right now, and it's supposed to snow tonight. So there's that.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, and like this late in March, it's not that unusual, but I was kind of hoping there wouldn't be any. So Jinju posted a link to spongy wood nanogenerators. Basically, it's smart flooring that when you walk on it and compress the fibers, it generates piezoelectric energy. That could be kind of cool.
Wow. That's neat.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you want to swing over to that picture?
Sure. Yeah, I found something on Twitter recently that I thought was really interesting. The guy who made this image, this is a 3D rendered image. This is not real. Meant to show what a sunset on Mars might look like. And you can see his name in the corner there, Mark A. Garlic. And you can also see it says no unauthorized use. Well, some people decided to go ahead and use it without authorization. It's all over Twitter with people saying that it's a real photo of a Mars sunset. So if you happen to see an image that looks like this, it's probably going to be cropped to look like a phone image. That's the way I've been seeing it. Just let people know it's not a real image and it's been stolen from the original creator who hasn't given permission for it to be used. But it's a really nice photo. It could be...
Yeah.
It fooled a lot of people, and rightly so, because without that caption, it genuinely looks like a photo.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. And I just love it. I mean, there's just so many globe denying, science denying bastards out there who are just faking all of these pictures and then claiming, hey, this was taken by NASA. Look, it's an obvious fake. Of course, it's an obvious fake. You made it, nitwit.
Actually, when I started tweeting about this image being misused, Geistview pointed out, at some point, some flat earther is going to grab this and say, look, it's Mars.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, they are too. And, the interesting thing is it's like all of NASA's photos, they're really all in one repository or two, maybe. Before they get disseminated, you can get them either from NASA or usually sometimes you can get them from JPL. So if you're going to claim that that's there, it only takes a few minutes to verify whether or not that picture really exists. It's like they don't even think about shit like that.
It's funny actually how often, like, that was a big thing with Taffy. He tried to claim that one of the Apollo images that he had debunked had been taken down by NASA, and I was like, well, here's a problem with that. All of the Apollo photos have been carefully archived since they were taken, and I went and found the one he was talking about, and I was like, look, it's right here. And oh, what's that say beside it? Oh, it's a composite.
Yeah. Fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's why there's that new group on Facebook. You gotta lie to Flurf, because they do. They make up so much shit. It's funny as hell. And they talk about how NASA is like, making what they call obvious fakes, because they're been around for so long, doing it for so long, and they're completely incompetent about it, and yet they don't think that we're gonna notice when they fake shit. It's like, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because like you said, it's so easy to check when NASA carefully catalogs everything.
Yep.
Like even in every aspect of space travel that's done. Like I find it funny that Flurfs say satellites don't exist. Meanwhile, satellites have serial numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Sputnik's serial number was 2.
Yeah. Wolfie has, I think, it is Wolfie, and it has a really good video, Wolfie 6020, where he did star trails, and interestingly showed certain star trails that stars that don't move, even though everything else is moving past and around them. Of course, they're the geostationary satellites. There are guys out there who have no idea that there's this stupid debate about the shape of the Earth, but they're into searching for satellites. They have all kinds of equipment. They read the signals from them. They download them. There's guys who sees who can get the best picture of them from whatever sort of astrophotography equipment they have. So it's like, you say all this shit, but it's stuff that you can verify yourselves. Of course, they don't want to verify anything. That's another story altogether, though. That is a pretty cool picture, though. I like that.
It is, for sure. I think the more I've been looking at it, the more I've been realizing it quite clearly isn't a real photo, because it lacks little individual rocks all over the place, which is what you have basically everywhere on Mars.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's because this is a 3D render, and that's a lot of assets to render. It would have been so much work to put in hundreds of tiny little rocks all over the place.
Right. So you could sort of, it could be up a large hill, so you're really looking down into a valley.
It's up something, I'll tell you.
It is a very, very cool picture. And I wonder if you used some NASA photos to help put it together.
Oh, you could. You know, if you wanted to, you could go to town and get some rover tracks in there and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot of effort just to flurf.
Yeah, that's the kind of effort they go to because they can't find any other evidence, so they might as well make it up.
You know?
Yeah.
Imagine that. All that time to learn how to use the software so you can pull off a flurf when you could have just put the effort into learning that there was no need to flurf in the first place.
That's right.
Just
Exactly. The flat earthers are hiding the flat earth from flat earthers. Yep.
There was a good shout here from John Eagle in the chat. Kevin, you want to start that?
Yeah, he asked if we were up to speed with what's happened to Irish Demon. I am. Dick is. Are you, Mike?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah, I talked to Dick about it earlier before the show.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, he's had his whole channel demonetized, and in fact, he put in an appeal, and YouTube reviewed it and said, no, you're still going to be demonetized, which really sucks because he did just hit 5,000 subs as well.
Yeah, what? That's the timing here is so bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
it's serious.
It's a weird situation because I watched it going down, and as horrible as Daniel Pratt is and everything he's done on YouTube, technically you can't go after other channels on YouTube anymore. They're really cracking down on that kind of thing, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's getting. So we should lay a little bit out for anybody who's not totally up to speed here. There was a back and forth that got real nasty. Daniel Pratt once again took it way too far, and Demon pointed it out on his stream. Hey, look at how far this guy took it. Like, you know, we can't have this kind of crap on YouTube. So a bunch of people from Demon's stream all went to Pratt's channel and started flagging him. Now, YouTube's stance here isn't so much the content of the videos. It seems to be that's absolutely being ignored. But the real issue here is Demon sent a whole whack of people over to Pratt's channel to mass flag him. And regardless of why, YouTube doesn't want that to happen. So, you know, it's got to the point now where, okay, you can organize it on Discord, and then that way everybody goes over and flags the guy. There, done. You're no longer left holding the bag. But what happens if somebody who's got some real subscribers puts out a very popular debunk video on some COVID-idiot talking about how the vaccine can hurt you? And then what happens is we end up getting the whole, well, people went from your video and mass flagged them, so it's your fault, even if you didn't tell them to. Like, I think we're heading for a gray area now. I'm not sure, like, you know, like Pratt and the whole kill yourself thing, right? I'll stop in a second here, but Pratt and the whole kill yourself thing, you know, he's got almost zero audience. He's got no way to follow through and everything. So he's just a raving lunatic. So YouTube might not even be taking that seriously. But what I really think happens in the background is YouTube sees the mass flagging. They get the transcript analyzed by the computer, and they look at Demon's video, and it goes, oh, you know, go and flag him for this or blah, blah, or whatever is said. And they go, oh, so you encouraged it. Boom, bullying. And they probably don't even know that Pratt said, go fucking kill yourself. But I don't think they would care. Kevin's got his hand up, so you guys figure it out. Kevin, go ahead.
Yep. Well, and that's the other thing I do want to address, because there's a bunch of people saying, well, Pratt's also broken the rules. Yes, he has. Pratt breaks TOS with basically every single video he makes, and he should be taken off YouTube permanently. The question is, how do you do this? Because every time you take down his account, he's just going to make another one, and he isn't big enough for YouTube to have a whole team of people dedicated to taking down his channel as soon as it comes up.
Yeah.
We treat him like he's a big deal because he's awful, but we tend to forget that fucking nobody is watching him.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if he already has multiple channels just waiting in the wings anyway.
His current channel is titled Daniel Pratt's Next Deleted Channel, and he made it before his one before that was deleted.
Yeah.
He's out in the open about breaking the rules. It's just YouTube doesn't care enough because he's a nobody.
Right. Yeah, and then YouTube is also, they can also be hypocritical about things like the video we watched last week about the guy trying to tell everybody what the neuroses is. I mean, he's a frickin' wool peddler who's unqualified to talk about the things he's talking about, but he's got 1 million subs, and that's really all YouTube cares about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But Nerd Angle, yeah, you're correct. It really does suck for Demon that it's gone the way it has.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Demon, technically, Demon isn't wrong by saying, guys, this guy's encouraging people to kill themselves and stuff. Let's get it reported, because that should be reported. Those are against terms of service.
Morally, he's not wrong, but encouraging flagging like that is against YouTube's terms of service, even though it shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Or at least it should be a little grayer than it is.
Yeah. Like if you've got two 40,000 sub channels that are having a little feud back and forth because their drama llama's like a uni rocking somebody or blah, 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 and they're getting into a mass flagging war, for sure YouTube doesn't want that because it's such a drain on resources and time and everything. And so I can see why they're struggling to find a balance. But when the flags are deserved, that shouldn't be bullying, because it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if YouTube would be on top of these things, that kind of behavior on from Demon's channel wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah.
If they would take him down, it wouldn't be a problem. And John Eagle's right. The YouTube AI is flawed. Although in this case, I think they did follow up with a physical review, right?
I just wanted to say, John Eagle saying, I think the YouTube AI is flawed. That is the understatement of the century, my dude.
Yes,
oh, yeah. Now, Mike, you said it was done by human review. Now, for sure, but we don't know if the human review truly watched 3 or 4 videos, or did the human just look at the data that was flagged by the algorithm and go, oh, so you encouraged flagging 3 times during your video, and then within an hour, they got 90 flags. Yep, you bullied. Because that's a human review, but it's still out of context, but it's a human review. Yeah. We don't know what the real review was. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bullshit review, like I just said, right?
Right. Well, I'm sure it was. I mean, these guys, they certainly do not have enough. They couldn't possibly have enough people to review everything that needs to be reviewed. So if their guy's going to go through a review, if he's going to find something that supports the review, he's going with it, and that's it. He's moving on to the next review he's got to do. I'm sure that's the way that went.
Yeah. You've got to figure that the system is set up so that the humans have to do as little as possible. Otherwise, oh my God, the staffing would be astronomical, right? So if you think about it in a real simple and basic term, YouTube provides closed captioning. So the all they have to do is just go through the text, and it wouldn't be a human. It's still a bot doing it, and just look for the word flag and report and flag and report. Boom. Yeah. That's it. That's how I figure it's going down right now, because if somebody had actually gone to Pratt's channel and watched him rant and rave, they would go, well, no wonder these guys are trying to get him shut down. And it probably would be okay, but YouTube won't ever give us the details of what is a human review. Did somebody spend 20 seconds? Did they actually take the context? We don't know.
Yeah, that's really frustrating that is all in the dark, that they say a human looked at this video, and you don't get that impression based on the decision they make about the video. And we have no concept of how they do it. Do they watch the whole video? Do they watch it at full speed, or do they speed it up? Do they watch 20 seconds of it? Do they skip through it and watch little bits of it? We have no idea. It drives me crazy how in the dark we are.
Yeah. And they're not going to discuss that, because, the one thing they're definitely not going to discuss is how the AI works and the algorithms work. So any discussion about how they do business that could lead to that is going to be really dicey and tough to get any information from them. They don't want to talk about that stuff. They don't want anybody to know how they do things.
Yeah. Golden Toad is saying something really interesting, saying that they saw some kind of behind the scenes stuff about the human review process. Can you link me to that? I would love to know more about that. Because they're saying it's like a sweatshop of contractors who just have to push through vids one after the other, and I'm not the least bit surprised by that. It's kind of like it's kind of like when you find out the truth about those scam call centers in India, that the people who work there they're like. These people who run the call centers, they go to poor neighborhoods and say, hey, I'll give you a nice apartment and all this stuff if you just come work for me for next to nothing. And that's why most of those people are there.
Yeah. Yep.
There's all these systems where people are just forced into doing something that they're not doing very effectively, or just isn't a good thing to be doing. And like, you never really know. Ash Scott says Ben Shods. That's funny. You never really know what's going on behind the scenes.
No, you really don't. And it's, I don't know that's, let's see, I seem to be behind. You're just talking about stuff that, I am behind. You're talking about things in the chat that then shows up in mine. There we go. I was behind at times here.
That's weird.
Yeah. So he's Benchoids, and then about 30 seconds later, it popped into the chat for me. Hey, it's who was it?
Oh, by the way, because some folks have been saying what can we do to help out Irish Demon. One thing I would recommend is, to my understanding, I think he wants to use his second channel that I think was going to be used for other stuff, but now it might have to be his backup channel. If I remember correctly, it's called Lost Irishman. Someone might be able to correct me on that in the chat, but I know it's out there.
Here, I'm going to check. I got a pretty good direct line to him. Let me just see what he's going to do here. Hold on a sec. I'll check.
Yep. It is his channel. You're right. Lost Irishman.
Okay. Yeah, I think currently he's only got one like test video up, but I think he's going to start using it.
Yeah, I just sent him a note to find out, so we'll see, because we can, promote it and shit if he wants. I know it was, he wasn't sure what to do there, because until he got the manual review, quote unquote, fucking done, he wasn't sure if the demonetization was going to stick, right?
Yeah. So how is it a timeout kind of thing? Is it for 30 days? Is it forever?
Actually, I'm not sure.
I believe it's indefinite. I think when you're demonetized, it's like there's a period for which you can apply for remonetization, but it's a pretty long period, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that seems counterproductive.
Yeah, and to look at it this way, once you've been demonetized, to try to get yourself back into monetize you're always in a position where you have to prove yourself. It's not just, you got the numbers, here you go. So, way harder.
And bear in mind, he's not banned from making content on YouTube. He's just banned from having ad revenue from his channel. So he can continue to make videos and potentially make an income off of, third-party stuff like Patreon, but it's going to be a pretty big hit, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that where most of the money comes from? Is like things like Patreon and merch, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like a whole lot can come from YouTube unless you got a really big channel anyway.
I'll be honest.
It's all views, right? Yeah.
For me, when there's a month that I do a stream, I tend to make more money from super chats than pretty much anything else.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. Because you can really make a difference for people, man.
Yeah. Because you look on Social Blade and what it says is potential income, and it's not really all that much. Not that Social Blade is very accurate, but it doesn't include all that other side stuff like Patreon and merch and those things.
Which can be a lot depending on the channel, for sure. I know a couple of channels where the people running the channel had such good members and patrons, such good patrons that they didn't even turn on channel memberships or monetize the channel because they didn't need to. And then therefore it didn't clutter the videos and ruin things, right? But with YouTube now doing that thing where if you don't put videos on your or if you don't put ads on your own videos, YouTube will anyway. So these guys both turned on ads because, well, fuck YouTube. If you're going to have ads on it, might as well be my revenue then, right?
Right. So if they do that thing where they just turn it on, you don't get shit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks.
There's ads being shown on channels that don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, so they can't even monetize. And there's ads showing on channels that never bothered to be a partner because they just don't care. They put up the content because they got sponsors or whatever, right?
Oh really? So now I have to go check because I've got like 100 subs, 100 and something, 130, I guess. I wonder what happens if I look at one of my videos. I have an ad blocker, so.
Yeah, they're doing it very unfairly because if you go and watch a Linus Tech Tips video, he doesn't put monetization on because he's got everything else corporate going on. He doesn't have YouTube commercials, and I haven't seen a YouTube commercial on an LTT video yet. Right? Because they won't fuck with him, but they'll fuck with other people. It just depends, right?
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. They're over advertising the platform now huge because A, you either deal with it or don't, or you don't get to be on YouTube, or B, for the viewers, it's either you deal with 20 ads in a video or pay up for premium. So either way, YouTube wins.
Right. So they make money no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
What is premium these days? How much is that?
I don't even know.
I haven't looked at that in a while. Somebody in the side chat will know, I'm sure.
About $20 says Wooden Toad. A month?
Yeah.
That's I'm surprised at that. I would have thought like $10.99 or something.
Yeah, Nerd Angle, Nerd Angle brings up when you check this video as paid marketing, they don't run ads. But some of the car people I watch have sponsorship. They had to click it, and it has the little warning in the bottom saying this has paid promotion in it, but they still run YouTube ads as well.
Yeah, Don Giovanni says $12 a month, US.
Wow.
And I guess it has a 3-month trial, which is decent. Also, completely off topic, but I gotta say, this drives me completely freaking insane because I don't have ad blocker on mobile. So every time I see an ad for YouTube Premium, it's the dumbest shit ever. It's like, watch Fortnite highlights with your screen locked, or listen to Animal Crossing videos with your screen locked. I'm like, you guys know that like music and podcasts and things that don't require visual aid exist, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I listen to Fortnite highlights that I can't see, even if I gave a shit about Fortnite?
I know.
Yeah, I don't.
That's kind of stupid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah. That would be, imagine, that guy killed me. Holy God, look at that. I took his head off. Like, why would you listen to that walking down the road?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
It's really not interesting without seeing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, listen to some of the audio from the action sequences of like Hamburger Hill or Platoon or something like that, but without watching the video, boom, crash, boom, it's over there. Like, why would you do that?
And nobody knows. Nobody knows.
John Eagle asked, does Fortnite take 2 weeks to play? I like that.
So Dave N says 2 months free and £11.99 a month. So it's like more expensive over there. Although Wooden Toad says she pays what
19 something. Are Wooden Toad, are you Canadian by any chance? Because that sounds like $12 in US is probably like $17 Canadian, right?
Something like that. I don't know what the ratio is right now at all.
1.
19 Canadian is $15, 19 American right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
80 cents to a Canadian dollar right now. Yep. Interesting.
A family plan. Wow. Okay.
Colorado
Didn't even know
Biker
they had
Prepper.
that.
Colorado Biker Prepper says most of the crap on YouTube has devolved into a bunch of PewDiePie wannabes. No, that's trending YouTube. And trending YouTube is just as trash. Trending YouTube is just as trash, maybe more trash than trending Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I did that recently. I was looking through videos on my phone and I accidentally hit explore and was looking at trending content. And I was like, why the fuck am I just getting recommended Fortnite videos? Oh. So Ash Scott, yeah, apparently people still play and watch Fortnite. I don't know why.
I never really understood the watch other people play video games thing.
It's a product of my generation.
Yeah. It's kind of strange.
Well, see, that's the thing is that a lot of people, the frequent counter argument is, why would you watch other people play sports?
It doesn't at all seem the same, actually. I mean, you got a lot of players out there. Their strategy, you're trying to figure what they're doing. They're trying to figure out what each other's doing. It's
that's just it with that's just it with Let's Plays. Is it's less about watching the person play and it's more about getting to know that person and getting to know their sense of humor and just digging the jokes they make and stuff. And I don't know. It's for some people. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was just looking at Right to Hands YouTube channel because he made had to be 6 videos in response to the discussion we've been having on Facebook. He doesn't mention me in particular, but they're all the exact same subjects. And he's got one here that I have to watch later on called Fundamental Particles. What are those? Like he would know. Fundamental particles. Good God.
Like Ash Scott said, people will even watch chess if it's raining hard enough. I will watch Moist Critical Checkmate XQC in 4 moves 1,000,000 times. It's one of the best videos on the internet.
Yeah,
it's really funny actually because they're doing like a professional chess tournament and the guy narrating is a chess master and he's being very professional and going, well, XQC went with this opening, so Charlie is responding to that and we're just listening to Charlie's commentary. We're gonna unmute him now. And then they unmute him and he's like, my dick is rock hard. I cannot believe it.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what you'll find. Because we were sitting, this was like 2 summers ago. We were on Long Beach Island and we're out to eat, and they had one of the ESPN channels on, and it was a professional cornhole tournament. Now, up until that point, I didn't even know there was such a thing as professional cornhole. And let alone a tournament, but yeah, that's what it was. I was like, people sitting, okay. It's kind of weird,
sorry.
though.
What is what is cornholing?
It's basically you got this set. It's kind of like horseshoes, only you have a board at an angle with a hole in it, and you're basically tossing bean bags back and forth. And the one closest to or into the hole scores points. You have to spin the bags, kind of like almost like a frisbee kind of thing. And it's one of those backyard cookout kind of games.
Okay. That's I have to say I'm from the Beavis and Butthead generation, and that is not what cornhole means to me.
Yeah, I know. I used to think the same thing. So
I think I might have heard of that though. That it's like it's one of those games that used to happen a lot, but isn't very common anymore.
Yeah. It's pretty common, at least in this
I
area.
imagine it's. I was going to say, I imagine it's popular in certain communities, right?
Yeah, it's good for you're having a cookout and you can play volleyball in the backyard or horseshoes or cornhole. So it's one of those things that's good for stuff like that. When you're in the backyard doing a lot of drinking and eating burgers. Tony Regime says, Right to Hands videos sound like a stand-up comic from the 80s. He is, by the way, a failed stand-up comic, just so everybody knows.
How is that not? I need to search now and see if there's any flat earth stand-up comedians.
Yeah, he
Aren't they all?
That or sit in their car comedians. So he took a shot at stand-up comics stuff. I don't know. And he talks about on Discord, he talked about how he's retired at 35 after selling the business he had for like 15 years. And I was able to find, because I know where he lives, because the internet exists and it's easy. I guess anything will be a sport these days. Yeah. I like to wait for the Winter Olympics because I really like curling. Yeah, so there's a lot of strategy in that game, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
And it's a game of inches, like big time. You could be, if you're off an inch, you're screwed. And that's a long way to hurl those rocks too.
Oh, and the whole thing with sweeping and whatnot, the effect that can have on the rock is crazy. Really, it's. I mean, being Canadian, we just naturally see more of it on TV, so we probably know more about it than the average country, just because you always see it. But it's cool. Yeah,
it's cool. I saw How It's Made. I love that show. I'm an engineer, so I would love that show. But they had a really good one on making the curling rocks. And all those rocks come from a specific quarry in Scotland. That's pretty cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We got a $5 super chat from Nerd Angle who said, shameless plug for the Raven and the Wolf podcast. Also toasting my bourbon to you fine gents. Well, Nerd Angle, you got to give a link for us to shill. That's how that works.
Right. Yeah. We will show that. Toss it out there.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Nerd Angle able to post links? Oh, maybe not. They're a member, but they're not a mod.
Yeah.
I can always send them PM. I think Nerd's got me on Discord. If not,
for sure.
Little man, my little man just walked in the door. So give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I'll have it on speakers.
So what kind of bourbon are you toasting with?
Of what?
He says he's toasting us with bourbons. I was just wondering what kind.
Oh, also toasting. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey and bourbon and that stuff. It's amazing that, you can, it used to be you can get a bottle for $8, $10, $12, $15. And then now you got the $50, the $75, the $500 bottles of bourbon and scotch. It's like, wow, what makes something like that, a $50 bottle and a $500 bottle, can it really be $450 better? I don't think so. Then again, I'm not going to go out and spend the money to find out either, so there's that. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah, I've never fully understood that. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but it's not that I have anything against drinking. I've done it in the past, but I would not notice the difference if you handed me a $5 glass of whiskey versus a $500 glass of whiskey. I would not know the difference.
Yeah, neither would I. And then there's like bottles that could be thousands. It better do more than just taste good for that.
Colorado Biker Prepper said, how about curling with randomly placed landmines embedded in the ice, a way to liven up the game?
That would be awesome. Of course, then you gotta like curl around the holes, so there's that.
Yeah. But then, if it was the Olympics and you did that, the Russian team would think you did it to them on purpose, and it would be a political fiasco.
That's right. We're going to DEFCON 4 over curling.
Yeah. Well, truth be told, the Cold War was started by curling. That's why we called it cold, right?
Oh, yeah okay. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
There was someone pointed out a little while ago that the Olympics originally had poetry in it. I wonder, I've never really looked it up, what the very first Olympic Games in ancient Greece were actually, or was it Rome? It was Greece, right?
Greece. It was Greece.
Yeah.
I wonder what the first Olympic Games consisted of. Because it's got to be miles different. I bet there's no events that still exist from the first Olympic Games.
Well, they had wrestling. They had let's see if I can remember the javelin. There was some track and field in there. What were the original?
The ancient Olympic Games. The first games were. Oh, this is too complicated. I'm trying to learn the marathon here. They probably did have marathons.
According to the Olympic.org website, yeah, they had running, jumping, and discus throw, a pentathlon, wrestling.
Ash got some ping pong.
Boxing. What the hell is prankation? I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Pancration? I don't have no idea what that is. It's it's a combination of wrestling and boxing.
Oh. And yes, they did it naked.
Yes.
Because
the Greeks did a lot of things naked.
Yeah. They said it was because, there's no borders, no boundaries, no countries, no states. Yeah, knowing the Greeks, there's more to it than that. Uh-huh. Yep.
Interesting. Oh, apparently, one of the earliest Greek, ancient Greek Olympic events, was a race from which the word stadium is derived.
Really?
The stadion.
Yeah. It used to be it was a unit of measure, wasn't it?
Is it? Stadion was named after the building in which it took place. The race also gave its name to the unit of length, the stadion. Oh, it is still, I guess. Okay, really. It's not really used today, but it was. A unit of measurement that's approximately 192 yards.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of units of measure out there that still exist. Like I have this, pocket reference, and I got the conversion pages. There's some weird shit. Like I like to talk about cubic butt loads all the time, but it's kind of redundant because a butt load is actually a butt is a cubic measure. It's a measure of volume.
So buttload to shitload, and that's where a ridiculous saying actually makes sense.
Yeah. A butt is like where is it? It's like a barrel or a keg. It has to do with casks, wine casks. And a butt is 126 gallons. There it is.
All right. Two people simultaneously just said that the smoot is their favorite unit of measurement. So now I have to know what that is.
What the hell?
A non-standard humorous unit of length created as part of MIT and a fraternity prank. It's one smoot is equal to Oliver Smoot's height at the time of the prank, 5'7". That's pretty funny.
Wow. So your average racing driver in European F1 is just over a smoot tall. Interesting.
Steaming cup, a fuck ton. Yeah. I've used that one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So Matt Fors is a smoot in height. Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Wow. That's a neat one. A smoot. It sounds like Dr. Seuss, or can I still say his name without being considered a racist, homophobe throwback to society?
Cancelled.
That's all bullshit. and you know what gets me about that is they're whining about, it was the estate that did that. There were those six books or 7 books. I forget how many there were. People have complained about them for decades. They even changed them a little bit so that you can so that they can try to be more politically correct, but they really didn't do much. Some Oriental people that were yellow skinned, they changed their skin to white, but it still didn't change the story and what's going on.
Some of them were pretty bad. Like I saw some illustrations of some black people that were basically just that classic like Tex Avery blackface type drawing. And I'm like, okay, that's bad. That has no place in modern society. But then I saw one that was like a Chinese man with chopsticks, and everyone was like, that's racist. And I was like, what, do Chinese people not use chopsticks? That's just acknowledging that those exist. We can do that.
Right. Yeah. And there's let's see if I can find this, see if I have it. There he did some drawings, very, very early on. Because he was also like a graphic artist for print. And there's some of them out there that were absolutely, it would be considered almost a hate crime these days. Where did I put that stupid picture?
Oh, I bet. Because something I learned about fairly recently was that Dr. Seuss did a lot of anti-World War or World War II era propaganda. So a lot of anti-Japanese drawings. And they're pretty racist because all anti-Japanese propaganda from that era was. Propaganda is meant to dehumanize the enemy, and that's what it did.
Yeah,
I saw
exactly.
I saw a great post over that whole Dr. Seuss thing. Like they were pulling a bunch of the books. You're not allowed to sell them on eBay anymore. Like eBay won't let you sell them. But I can go on there right now and buy Mein Kampf, no problem. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's come on, really? I mean,
and some asshole was taking advantage of the controversy to try and sell a copy of Mein Kampf for $450.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's
$450 for the ramblings of a racist lunatic.
Yeah. And there was what was I going to say? There was some of the books before eBay decided not to sell them. So they got the state decided they're going to discontinue them, and they were going for stupid amounts of money at first. And there are some other auction and sites out there where they were trying to sell those things for really, really crazy amounts of money.
Matt Fors is being very, very adamant that we understand Dr. Seuss himself was not a racist man. He made some racist drawings. I understand that. I completely understand the difference. I don't think Dr. Seuss was a racist whatsoever. It's just some of the illustrations are a product of the time, and time has kind of moved past that style of illustration. So it's a tough call. It really is.
Well, I'm putting something in the green room. This is basically the bottom of this. This is a Dr. Seuss drawing, by the way, and I'm not sure we can even put this up on the screen.
Oh, I'm sure we can.
You think? Well, to look at it,
I'm sure we can.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Just the word being there and like, yeah, that's gonna be hard. Those are the ones I saw where it's like that's a product of the time. That's every Tex Avery cartoon.
Yeah, and it really isn't. There's no ambiguity on that one. It is what it is.
I don't think we should be showing it.
I don't think so either.
I think we could get away with it if the word wasn't right there on the wall.
Yes. So if anybody's interested, just look up Dr. Seuss and Woodpile, and you can see it.
I mean, I can even just for the sake of anyone who's curious and doesn't want to look it up, it's a collection of different places, like salespeople, right? And the bottom frame is a group of black people drawn in that horrible blackface stereotype fashion, and the sign says, "Take home a high-grade N-word for your woodpile, satisfaction guaranteed."
Yeah,
and I do think I'm looking at this, and it looks like maybe a critique of capitalism.
Yeah, I'm sure it was at the time. Because that's really what the panels are all about. They're all about selling stuff. First class monkey wrenches and haystack needles, that kind of thing.
It almost seems like the point might have been salespeople will try to sell you anything, regardless of how dehumanizing the product might be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it was about back in the day, but definitely is not probably something. Yeah, that's why I said you guys should review it before.
Yeah. It's a tough call with this kind of stuff, because I'm generally not for the censoring of art, but then at the same time you've got something like the Censored 11. I'm sure you're familiar with those, Mike.
Yeah.
One of those we had on a VHS when I was a child, and I didn't realize it was this banned cartoon that couldn't be shown anymore. It was called Jungle Jitters, I think is the title of it. And it's about a door-to-door salesman who comes to a primitive tribe and tries to sell them something, and they basically just screw with him for 5 minutes. Yeah. And when I was watching it as a kid, I didn't understand that the portrayal, the drawing itself is a racist caricature. I didn't understand that. And the characters aren't treated as stupid. They're actually treated as outsmarting this salesman at every step. Yeah. So I never got any negative connotations out of it.
Yeah, it's just the visual portrayal there. They actually messed with him big time, and they got the upper hand all the way around, and we're just screwing with him like some guy trying to screw with a call salesman on the phone. Yep.
They were doing like the Scooby-Doo gags where he'd go and knock on door number 1 and nobody answers, and he goes and knocks on door number 2 and door number 1 opens up and then closes before he can get back, and it's that classic visual comedy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, Bugs Bunny. You can't, that's not on TV anymore. Yeah, you can't.
Really old ones, no, but I've seen some older cartoons still on cable TV because they're kind of timeless. Like, the famous Coyote and the Roadrunner, where the Roadrunner has a catapult that keeps going wrong.
Yeah.
I see that on TV all the time because it might be the best cartoon ever made.
And well, the Roadrunner, a lot of those are hard to find these days too, because it's violent. It's all violent. We're going to take away Elmer Fudd's gun and give him an axe. What was up with that? Because that's so much better.
Yeah, hacking somebody to death is nothing compared to just giving them a shot, right?
Yeah,
like shooting them once, right?
Yeah. A hunter with a gun makes sense. You give him an axe, and it seems more like serial killer to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, what happens with guns in those kinds of cartoons? When somebody gets shot with a gun, their face gets covered in soot, and they look at the camera and go, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
it usually goes bad for Elmer. So
Yeah, but some people argued even back then that teaches children that guns are toys and playthings and not real. No, it teaches children to laugh Saturday mornings while they're eating their sugar cereal. Like, because nobody's that fucking stupid. We all have the news. And ever since like even the 60s, the news loves, murder, shots fired and stuff because it's dramatic and it sells advertising.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember the first time I ever saw a real gun, and after watching cartoons with tons of guns, I saw a real gun for the first time in my life at my grandpa's house. It was like a hunting rifle, and I went and told my parents because I thought that it was somewhere it shouldn't be, and no, my grandpa just left it there because he didn't give a shit. But like my mind was immediately like, don't touch it, don't even go near it.
Yeah.
Don't touch the gun.
Yeah, people aren't that stupid, right?
No, not really, no.
That fear, those fears come from people who were such sheltered people in a pampered life that have no idea that the average child can be raised with 3 guns in a gun rack on the wall in the living room, and nothing will ever get touched.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm from city boy from North Jersey. I didn't even really see a gun for the first time till I got to boot camp when I was in the Army National Guard. So that was the first time I ever actually seen a gun. I didn't know any different.
That's like the best way to be introduced, because I'm sure they're going to tell you how to handle it safely.
Well, yeah. There was a whole lot of dry fire and a lot of learning the pieces, parts, and taking it apart before you actually even got to fire it. So
I did competitive shooting when I was young, started with pellets and then into like 22s and whatnot. And, it was a great way to be taught real respect for it. And, learn that they're not actually all that fun. I mean, if you want to be a redneck and go out to the rock quarry and bring some beer and shoot weapons off, something bad's going to happen and you're an idiot. But if it's used for what it's supposed to be used for, if you're target shooting, well, there's a little bit of a thrill on doing well. And if you're hunting, well, you got something to eat, but they're just not that fun.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They are cool. I like to, I don't own one. I don't intend to own one. I don't really hunt. I don't shoot, but the Demolition Ranch is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I mean, they use everything from small handguns all the way up to 50 cal rifles, shoot shit, and it's pretty cool. Kevin, you got your hand up?
Yeah.
Or not?
I just wanted to say really quickly to Matt Forrest and Woden Toad, you guys sound like you have a discussion that could be had on, say, a debate show that might be being planned by some channel. I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. If you guys want to carry this, we got a debate show we're booking people right now. If you guys want to go for it, be awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. I would love to see it, because the topic seems to be, does cancel culture exist? Yes or no? That's an interesting debate to have. I'd love to watch it.
Yeah, you know what, too? It's once the idea is out there and someone grabs onto it, everything becomes part of cancel culture, too. It's kind of amazing how that, like the whole Dr. Seuss thing. Right wingers are still talking about that as, they're canceling Dr. Seuss. Oh my God, it's Dr. Seuss. One fish, two fish. No, one fish, two fish has got nothing to do with what they're canceling, and nobody canceled them. His own estate. It's kind of weird.
That would be that's interesting. I did see a couple of people say like, "Oh, what's wrong with green eggs and ham?" And I was like, "Green eggs and ham isn't one of the books being banned. What are you babbling about?"
Yeah, exactly. The Geisel estate, and these, like I said before, these are books that were controversial for decades. Some people thought they should have been, removed from print long time ago. But so it isn't as if the government is censoring them. It just happened to coincide to this point in time that the Geisel estate decided to go ahead and pull these books. And it had more to do with the events of last summer and Blue Lives Matter than it did anything else. But people want to assign, I don't know, more assigned blame, I guess is the word I'm looking for what's going on. And, you could still read Green Eggs and Ham, people. Come on. I love Horton Hears a Who. Boil that dust back. Boil that dust back. Wow.
I had a Dr. Seuss book when I was a kid that was a collection of a few stories. I remember it had the Grinch in there, and it had what's the one about the stack of turtles? Yertle the Turtle?
Yertle the Turtle, yeah. The video I have, every year at Christmas we watch the Grinch, the original one from 1966, and on that DVD is also Horton Hears a Who. I kind of like that one too. That's a cool little story.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of good ones in that.
Yeah.
Hey, seek truth, speak truth for €5, I think. No, that's pounds. That's pounds. He said, legends, a lot of you. Thank you very much, Mr.
I don't know what's going on my end, but you both of you guys sound like you're roboting, and I'm sure you're not. It's my end of things.
No, something's going on because I'm having some kind of issues. You're having issues here, and other people. I think it might be meats, or if
it could be,
it might be me. I'm trying to fix it on my end. Right now,
you sound better now, but
I just reset my audio, so see what happens there. But we're hearing each other through meets, not through the OBS feed. So,
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, both of you sound a lot better now. So it's whatever's going on. I don't know. I don't think anybody else has got any issues.
Yeah, I think it's okay now. Oh, we got a super chat in. Seek truth, speak truth. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. For £5. Legends, the lot of ya. Oh, thanks, buddy. Seek truth, speak truth. Awesome, dude. Thank you very much, man. I actually checked your PMs too. I sent you the link.
So then,
deja vu.
So then, when I read out that super chat, it just didn't come through, did?
I guess not. I heard it.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I didn't. That was probably when I was in the background tweaking and trying to go, why is my audio so bad? Because something was terrible. I could barely hear what was going on.
Yeah. Wow, what time is flying by?
I don't know what the hell's happened to Dick talk in the next room, and then like a second and a half later, I hear him in the meet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good delay.
It's getting called out for reading it a second time, but yeah. Yeah, Wooden Toad. No, just give me a PM. It's all good for sure. I heard from Nerd Angle as well, so we got a couple. And if the Cat in the Hat was racist against rabbits. Oh, that's funny. And Matt, if you want to come on and do debate night, we're booking them right now. So anybody that's got any issue they want to talk to any person about, we don't care. It doesn't have to be always like flat earth stuff. Actually, far from it, please. Let's do this. Let's get it going. Absolutely. Yeah. So I heard from Nerd Angle and Wooden Toad and so far already. So we'll get this going.
Yeah, I tried.
And Gary IOW came in with a €5 or pound super chat and said, "Not listening, drinking single malt and digging Radiohead. Love you guys."
Well, then Gary won't hear me say. Yeah, Gary won't hear me say what an absolute jerky is, even though I love him for sending a super chat.
I was going to say, Gary, that just makes you a creep and a weirdo. And what the hell are you doing here? And I'll stop singing Radiohead now.
Of course, now he's listening to you say all that. So there you go. I tried to get right the hand. I tried to get Chris to come on to do the debate. But after a while, he just kept ignoring the fact that I was asking him. And after a while, then he sent a link to a Discord voice chat. It's like, well, let's do it right now. I said, no, I'm not debating you like that. It's going to be an actual moderated debate. Because, he starts to scream and yell. If he doesn't get his way, he whines. But so he after that didn't happen, he just completely ignored me. And I keep asking him, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I don't have my hopes high.
No, neither do I. And there isn't a debate of his that's gone well at all. So, yeah, from the very first one with Toon to he's a hoot. Let's see.
For sure. Yeah. What else? I know one thing that's going on, coming up. That it's not stupid related, but I think it's interesting. NASA is preparing to give Ingenuity its first test flight on Mars. Which I think is interesting because what occurred to me recently is that we have never seen something moving on the surface of Mars. Like there's nothing on the planet to move, and we're always looking from a perspective. So we've never had a third-party perspective of something moving on Mars, and this is the first time we'll get to see it because Ingenuity doesn't have any cameras on her, but Perseverance can watch it fly.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. And it's got a very short range, though. I think it's only a few meters that it's allowed to go up, and it doesn't get very far away from the rover, if I remember correctly. I have to look it up. So Matt Forrest, no, it's everyone's not going to be hating on it. These are going to be real moderated debates. This is going to be kind of formal-ish. It isn't going to be a free for all like some dumpster fires in the past. This isn't going to be like Friday night fights or anything. So yeah, you don't need to worry about too much. Just be civil, and that's all there is to it. Yeah, then everything's good. Yep.
Speaking of like debate show and whatnot, because we got a couple things brewing now, so that's cool. We also have coming up just in the matter of days, we've been working on 2 different game shows since 6 months ago, and we're finally basically ready here. So we're re-bringing back the thing I did on my channel a bit, World Model Feud, and it'll be 2 teams of 2 players, and it'll be like Family Feud style, except there'll be questions based around woo peddlers and the YouTubers we know and bullshit like that, right?
Cool.
And then, yeah, and so, if you want to play, get yourself a partner, form a team, and let us know. And we're going to get the rotation going, and there is going to be like a leaderboard and scores kept, and in the end one team will win, right? And then we have the game show Colin designed. Cheese is going to host it. It's questionable education, QED, and 2 players, one on one, and you watch a 1-minute clip. And you launch into debunking and see who gets it best. Viewer voted points, one winner takes it all. Yeah. So
that sounds great.
Yeah. We'll be some of the contestants on our own shows at first to make sure everybody knows what's going on and get it going and whatnot. And we're going to have lots of bookings for lots of contestants and players. So let us know.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice. That'll be very cool, actually.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. QED, we just spent the last week really going over the mechanics of how the game will be played, and we got it really smooth. And World Model Feud is almost done, so probably in next 3 or 4 days here. Probably Sunday we'll have questionable education out, and then hopefully, midweek we'll have the second one done. But it's starting to look like Sunday afternoon or morning for me in Pacific would be game show day, because Barman might not be able to continue poker. We're still figuring that out. We'll see how it goes. Kevin.
How do I sound right now?
Now you're back to good.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I just wanted to comment on something Nerd Angle said. It's okay not to agree on everything. Differences move us forward, and I think that's a good point to raise. That this is not going to be a dumpster fire show between people that hate each other. Right. I'm sure that Woden, Toad, and Matt are both capable enough adults that they can have a disagreement, and at the end of the day, still shake hands and walk in the other direction.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to try to make that make that point that it isn't going to be that kind of a dumpster fire kind of thing. That was popular there for a while, especially with Not Sequitur on Friday nights and stuff. But now we're looking to have actual logical civil discussions.
Yeah.
Something the internet is severely lacking in right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it actually goes that way. You never know what somebody's going to do. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. If I got right the hand on, how do I really see that going in the end? Yeah. Because he doesn't like moderated anything. He doesn't like that kind of thing. He doesn't want to be told what he can and can't. Well, the first time I debated him was in voice chat on Discord, and he kept trying to stop me. I was saying something. He kept trying to stop me. He said, "No, you said enough. Nope, you said what I wanted to say." It's like, you don't get to decide what it is that I'm going to say. And he says, "Yes, Mike, I do." That didn't work out well for him. So I could see that would be a big frickin' issue. But you never know. Maybe he could be civil for 3 minutes or so.
Big maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to the debate show here, if you find yourself in a chat room somewhere and you're having a little back and forth with somebody and you don't like what they're saying and you want to have a proper go at them about it or whatever, let us know. We don't really care what the topic is. As long as there's no hate speech, it's allowed. It's good. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're going to have points, viewer awarded points, as well as the moderator. And then in between the rounds, when you want to take a minute to look over your notes, to do your retorts to each other, we're going to have a couple of color commentators come in and, just give their thoughts quick on the round. We got a really original take on it that should make it quite entertaining and not just a yelling, scream dumpster fire. We've all seen enough of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So... yeah. Interesting. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's going to be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. We got a man who literally wrote the book on fallacies, David Worley, coming over to play moderator proper. So that'll be good. Facty. Yeah, sure, buddy.
I will watch that debate.
Yeah. Why didn't you put it down? Why can't you check if it's down? Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So we can settle it once and for all. We know who's winning that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either Facty's a eunuch and he wins, or he's not a eunuch and he loses. There's only two ways this goes.
That's right.
Well,
yeah, exactly. Wooden Toad has it right. The answer is to the toilet seat is, how much do you love your wife? Yep.
Yeah, because I'll tell you one thing: the ass that gets toilet seat wet does not put out. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Oh hell! Well, we don't have too much longer because I've got the controls and I also have a kid that's about to need his food served and stuff. And there's no way I can juggle both at wrap up and whatnot, right? It's not going to work.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair.
We should probably wrap up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Wanted to point out Mr. Flibble said Deaconess versus Daniel Pratt. I'm not sure that graphic of a slaughter would be legally allowed.
Pratt would be so confused. Pratt would just be looking, going, "Who drew that head on my fucking water heater?"
That's right. Oh dear God, that would be hilarious too. I could, he's so pompous and arrogant about what he thinks real science is. I just can't imagine what it would be like for him to actually discuss it with someone face to face.
Oh man.
Yeah, that just I just can't picture it.
Yeah, I can picture it right now. And you'd be like, blah, blah, you goddamn and this and that and blah, blah. Look, I'm sick of it. I'm not listening. I'm getting my damn drill in my ball right now.
That's right. Gotta go bend the plastic tube over my grill.
Yeah.
There I proved gravity doesn't exist. Yeah. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, demonstrating gravity to us and claiming it doesn't exist at the same. That was brilliant. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was hilarious. All you did was generate.
Load and Toad was.
Oh,
God.
Sorry.
He said all he did was demonstrate how much he doesn't understand the model he's trying to debunk, which is typical of Flirts. Go ahead, Kevin.
Sorry, Mike. I think I'm on a delay. I think I'm coming through later. Just Woden Toad said that wish someone would get Hovind versus a flat earther. I really wish that debate would happen as well, because Hovind's a Bible literalist, but he asserts that the Earth is a globe. And I know there's a ton of flat earthers who take issue with him being a Bible literalist who doesn't think the Earth is flat. So I think that would be a funny debate to see.
Yes, it would be.
That'd be amazing.
You're telling me that water is always level.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. So what?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Specifically, Hovind versus Nathan Thompson. Two people with SpongeBob toys whacking him with hammers.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would be hilarious.
Wow. Well, why don't we do our thoughts and wrap ups here then, guys?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll throw my 2 cents in here. Keep in mind, everybody, if you're having an argument on the internet with somebody, wrap them into a proper debate. Come on over and let us know. We got a platform for you. Let's do it.
Absolutely, yeah. If you got anything you want to debate chocolate's better than vanilla, come do it here. It does not matter the subject. We will take the debate, and it'll be interesting. We'll make sure of it.
Exactly.
But it's been a pretty good day. Like I said, SLS core stage test and starship stacking all in the same day. That makes my space dick very hard. And yeah, that's about all I got.
Well, that would seem to be enough. The other thing I got to say is right the hand's an idiot. And so where's the space dick in the jar? All right, now I got it. Now I'm stuck. I can't stop thinking about that.
It's in the jar next to it.
Yeah. All right. I guess with that.
Yeah. I mean, what else can we say? I mean, okay, yeah, YouTube, Demon told a bunch of people to go and deal with Pratt, but that's because Pratt is fucking Daniel Pratt, and he did actually deserve it. So come on, at least wake up and do the right thing and check out the context of why they were having a back and forth. Then you might understand that we were just trying to get a piece of shit off your fucking platform.
And there's one thing I want to say about that. If they had also taken down Pratt because of his content, then it would be better with what happened.
Yeah.
The fact that they just completely ignored what was going on for the singular reason that the algorithm. Yeah, well, we'll not go there right now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess thanks thanks for coming and joining and watching, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Silly Shill Show, and we'll take some of these Flurf morons to task. Until then, let's say goodnight, everybody. Good night.
See you over the curve, Space Cowboys.